Hey there. So as part of this video, what we are going to do is kind of see how to start multipass if you know you have rebooted your system or you have closed the terminal or you know you've exited the VS Code environment. So we'll take a look at how to go about reinitializing or respawning or with restarting the instance, the primary instance that we had created. So let's pull up a terminal. And by the way, not only that, we'll also talk about what the prerequisites to be able to compile a Linux kernel module are, and we'll kind of set up, that environment. Okay, so what you need to do then is pull up a terminal and type multipass. Now, once you do that, multipass essentially presents the help options, or different options that are available, and we are going to use the list. So let's do multipass list, and we see that our primary instance here, the instance we had created as part of the setup videos, that is available, and it is in the stop state. So what we are going to do to launch it again, to activate it again, is simply type multipass space shell. That's enough. Once we do that, it will start the primary instance again, and much like the previous videos, drop the prompt, or get us into the terminal that's within the instance. So this should take like a while, and once it's done, it will present to us the terminal that is within the primary machine or this virtual machine that we have created. So let's just give it like few more seconds, and here it is. So now, as it you know starts and drops the prompt for us, it has printed all of these details, and among which is this IP address, which is of use to us when connecting over VS Code. Okay, so now the virtual machine or the sandbox environment or the primary machine that Multipass is managing is activated, right? So the next step is we are going to go and, much like previous video, connect it to VS Code. So let me pull up VS Code, and then just to revise, we go to the remote extensions option here on the left side, click on that, and then look for the IP address of this machine, which happens to be 192.168.64.12. And as of previous video, we had connected to this directory LDD where we mentioned we will run all our experiments. So let's go into VDD, and it asks us for the password. So let's press the password, add the password, and hit return. And you can ignore all of these files for now because I have added those in while doing some experiments offline. So ignore those for now. Let's close everything. And here in the Explorer view, we see all of this. Well, you might not see this, but let me kind of, select one of them and then slowly select all of them and delete them. So that's where we want to be, a clean directory. Now what we are going to do is kind of crucial, which is to be able to take our C code and compile it into a kernel module. We'll require some utilities like compiler, some header files, all of those. And to be able to ensure that you also have those utilities, what we are going to do is simply kind of click Control and the tilde key to bring up a terminal here. And this terminal, okay, let me zoom this in also. So this terminal is same as the terminal we have here, right? So we see Ubuntu at the rate primary here, and we see Ubuntu at the rate primary here. So the terminals are same. Now what we are going to do is we are going to install some utilities that are required to be able to compile the code into a loadable module. And to be able to do that, we're going to execute these commands here. So let me copy those and in a new file, put it right here in front of us. And let me just go through each one of them one by one. Uh, so what we are going to do is the first command here is essentially saying that we want to update the lists of a package manager, which is called apt, right? You can look up the details of apt online. For our purposes, we just want first to update the local repositories, list of repositories. And after that, we say, okay, anything that needed an update, go ahead and update those, bring in the new packages, and, update those packages. So right now it's doing that. And the last line here is the one that matters to us the most. And let me kind of, pull up my marker. So what we need here is certain tools that are required to be able to compile the code. That is part of the package called build essential. Then while we are building our source code, we also need the header files that relate to the current version of the Linux kernel that we have, right? And the way we get these headers is we say, hey, install the Linux headers, and this right here is a dynamic command which fills in the version number. And what version number this is? This is the version number of our kernel, right? And then kmod is another utility that deals with, loading kernel modules and things of that nature. So all in all, we only need these three utilities, or headers and two utilities to be able to compile our code. So let me first, you know, go ahead and show you what version of uh, Linux kernel we are using, and the command is uname -r, and then the version is 6.8.0-35 generic, and this entire text gets put here. So this is how it will look essentially, right? That is why we have this. All right, so let me copy all of this, paste it here, and let's go ahead. And in my case, everything was already installed, so there was nothing to install and nothing to upgrade. But in your case, this process might take a while. And now that we have all of this with us, we are ready to dive into Linux kernel driver development and run experiments and learn through that. So with this, I'll see you in the next one.